Hey guys, it's Karey. Today I'm going to do a quick review on the Angel Power Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine. If you're unfamiliar with Radleigh, he connects to the archangelic and angelic realms and has a huge passion for tarot cards. And what he wanted to do was combine his two passions together, in which he created this deck here. Now, this was the first deck that I ever bought for myself. I was just kind of getting into trying to connect with the angelic realm at the time, and I thought that tarot cards would be a really good way for me to bring down the messages and connect to them. But I bought this one first because it did have the, of course, archangelics in there. And I find that it is a combination between tarot and oracle cards. And the reason I say that is it has the major arcana of the tarot and this like the same card. So it's like there's the sun, we have the world. Again, they just have like the angels in them, and then of course you have the minor arcana, which are the four suits. Now he spread them so that it was Archangel Ariel's the Pentacles. See how beautiful that is? Like, it's so cute. And then we have Archangel Michael here, which represents the swords. We have Archangel Raphael. Now he's the Archangel of Healing, so of course he gets to be cups. And then we have Archangel Gabriel, which represents the wand energy. So all four of the minor arcanas are all represented. They just, instead of pentacles, wands, swords, and pentacles? I forgot which one I was at. Anyway, instead of the four main ones for tarot, he just uses the names of the archangels who actually represent those same spaces. So it is quite beautiful. And also, one thing when he was creating this deck is that he found in the tarot cards, he thought the imagery was a bit on the harsh side. Now again, I do have a few tarot decks myself, as that's how I first started out. And then I just kind of wanted to show you the difference between the cards, because I have my Deviant Moon Tarot, which does pertain to my little bit of a darker, I'll say, shadow side that I have. So this is the Devil, and then this would be the Tower. So they are, like, imagery-wise a little bit on the darker side, but I have to be honest, the Devil is my favorite card. It is my favorite because I am an absolute fan of change, and that is literally what that Devil card represents. It's not that you are going to die or anything like that. No one you know is going to die, that not usually anyway, but it does represent a transition, so death, change. So that was from the Deviant Moon. Then I have some softer ones, which pertains to my kind of like witchy side of myself, past life. I have the Death card here, which is represented by that cute little cat. Oh, he's so cute. And then, of course, we have the Tower card here, represented by the Wise Owl. Now, if anybody doesn't know what the Tower card represents, that just means a tearing down of anything that does not serve your base foundation. So if it's not built on solid ground, when the when the Tower card gets pulled, it just means that what's not working in your life is going to come down. So it's really not even that harsh of a card, but people tend to fear them, which is, well, people fear change. I love change. I'm like all about it. So with this deck, Archangel Shemuel represents the Tower, and then Archangel Azrael represents, of course, the Death. Now, Archangel Azrael is known as the Archangel of Death, or the Angel of Death. He does help, it's beautiful actually, he helps souls transition from the earthly world and helps them transition back into the spirit world. So that's like a beautiful job, but to be known as the Archangel of Death or the Angel of Death usually promotes a lot of fear. But fear not, because again, if you want to change something in your life, it is Archangel Azrael that you want to bring forward. It's who you want to call on. He helps you transition from one space to the next, from one cycle to the next. He's absolutely beautiful. He will help you close the doors to your past so that you can open up brand new ones into your life. And I love this archangel. I call upon this archangel. He helps me. He's beautiful. His presence is not terrifying at all. It is very loving, and honestly, if you're going to help souls transition over, you're going to have to be on a more loving side of things. So this deck, I think, like, is absolutely phenomenal. If you are just learning how to read tarot, one thing that's great about it is that it has a blurb on the bottom of the card so that you can absolutely understand the meaning of it. The imagery is beautiful, which again is why you can use it as both tarot in its structure and as an oracle deck for its imagery. It's all very loving. Every message in this deck is very loving. And when you are just starting out, especially like maybe you're younger or you're a parent, your kid kind of wants to get into it and you're like, I don't know, I would suggest this deck. It is super, super easy to read. It does come with a guidebook. It explains how to set up the decks, shuffle the cards. It has the setup for how do you cleanse the energy of your deck and make it your own, which I think is great. I think everyone should do that. It actually has as well the Celtic cross spread. So there's a couple different spreads and kind of explains them. So there's the Celtic cross, which is one of the most famous spreads when it comes to tarot. I use it in oracle readings when I really need to nail something down or want to have a better understanding of the situation. It is a great spread, but it has a couple different ones in there, so you can really play around and you can get to know the deck itself. It's just all kinds of beautiful, very bright, very vibrant. This is the back end of it. It has the 4 suits. But my only issue with this deck would be that it is hard to shuffle. The cards kind of stick together a little bit. That's the only thing that I found. Other than that, this is a really great deck. I recommend it to anyone who is just learning or who has an affinity for the angelic realm, just kind of getting into it, trying to bring messages from the angelic realm down into their physical life, their present life. I would absolutely say go ahead and use this as a starter deck. I think it's a really nice bridge forward. And then also it really helps you to understand, what do you kind of prefer? Which direction do you want to prefer? Do you want to go into the tarot side? Do you want to go into the oracle side? Or do you want to do both? And there are so many beautiful card readers out there. Consciousness Evolution Journey being one of them, and she uses oracle and tarot together, and it is absolutely stunning the way that she brings it all together, and I'm a big fan. So you can definitely buy this deck if you're kind of on the newer side of things. It's very easy to understand, and if you want to connect to the angelic realm, or especially the archangelic realm, it is a great way to learn who to call in for what purpose. So thank you, Radleigh Valentine, for creating it, and thank you all for listening to this review. So lots of love and light to all of you. See ya.